Pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to films I should have talked about years ago. So here we go. Another little bonus here, because I was able to get a glimpse at another brand new film out there that is yet another Netflix original, but you know what? Let's see how this one can pretty much do, as I've already talked a bit about The Ice Road, which came out last month in June 2021. But nowadays, let's get on with something that also came out a bit recently, called Army of the Dead. This film stars the likes of many actors out there, such as Dave Bautista, whom you'd probably already remember for a lot of films that came out in the last decade, like the Guardians of the Galaxy films. But Dave Bautista is mainly accompanied by many others, who may not be as, well, rememberable, but you will see pretty much how crazy this film itself is. Army of the Dead itself was released in 2021 as well, so you might as well say that I'm probably going to be on a roll here with these occasional bonus episodes that I'll be talking about these certain newer releases. Of course, you all remember that the first 2020 release that I generally talked about was Godzilla vs. Kong 2021, which was actually a 2021 release, but yet, like many, it had to be delayed because of this stuff that's been happening. So, as unnecessary as that was, I still was able to get a chance to watch it fully, and I was able to give it pretty much my own take on the whole thing. And I have since then seen a few other 2021 releases, and let me tell you, the fact that I'm going to be getting to a few of them to talk about as bonus episodes here is probably one thing. Well, anyways, let's get back to Army of the Dead. It basically starts off just as you think it is. It's a zombie apocalypse film that takes place in Las Vegas, the same old Sin City that we've come to know and love throughout most media out there. Whenever we're talking about things out there related to Las Vegas, there's certainly a lot of media out there to accompany it. Fear and Loathing, and then of course, you got all the Elvis Presley stuff that's associated with it. But in this instance, Las Vegas being implemented into a zombie outbreak certainly does show how crazy it can possibly be. This film is essentially about a group of mercenaries who are now on a mission to go and pull off an extreme heist that involves an extreme amount of money being stolen from one of the big casino safes in the entire city. And Las Vegas, Nevada itself certainly does have its share of dangers along the way. As typical as it would be for a zombie apocalypse film that is much more recent in comparison to a lot of films out there about the zombie apocalypse, like Zombieland, Return of the Living Dead, and then of course you have yourself all the Dead Rising and Resident Evil video games out there related to it, and many others pretty much. In this particular film, though, relating to a modern-day zombie apocalypse film, this one actually does seem to hold up. Maybe not as much as many others out there that have tried and failed, pretty much. But Army of the Dead actually does hold up quite a bit. The fact is that, well, Dave Bautista and this ginormous group of mercenaries that seem to get picked off every now and then by the many shamblers and other zombies that pretty much infest the entire areas around the quarantine zone that they're in, when they're on a mission to pretty much get a lot of money before an entire bomb comes down onto the city of Las Vegas, Nevada itself. Of course, it's basically just the same old race against time heist sort of cliche that actually has been perfected a lot in more recent films, where mercenaries or other soldiers are on their own sort of mission that's a bit more freelance and a bit out of context in a way. But when you really get to know these films, you will see for yourself how unbelievable they can potentially be as action movies starring people with guns left and right. This one really does seem to rank higher than many others, but at the same time I can't really pinpoint a whole lot of things about it that might seem totally worthwhile. But yet, this is Netflix. I really gotta say though, how does Netflix somehow make their films as good as they can be? Here in the year 2021, the film industry has been screwed from the start, from the get-go, and from the very, 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 very beginning. When you really take a look at how terrifying all these events pretty much are, it's going to be no wonder why we're never going to be going back to movie theaters ever again. The film industry is completely crippled because of what has been happening lately with things like the pandemic and with all these people around here relating to cancel culture and the GOPs and MAGAs. But aside from all of these things that we have basically taken on throughout this entire year of 2021, it's just awful right here. The whole year itself is more than just awful. I mean, I've said it so many times by now that I'm probably going to be going insane. I'd have to admit myself to a psychiatric facility if this keeps up, but I mean, that's just what it is. This whole year has been nothing but fly-infested, turd-graded garbage. And you know what? I feel like it's better said than done. Well, anyways, Army of the Dead 2021. Dave Bautista, plenty of others out there that you might know or not know. It pretty much goes the exact way as you think. The cliches that jump in are terrifying beyond belief. If you ever want to check it out on Netflix for yourself, go ahead and watch it. In terms of giving it a score, from what I know about it so far, before I've yet to finish it up, pretty much, I'm going to have to give this one pretty much a 7.0 out of 10. So again, it doesn't really seem to rank higher than many other films because, again, this year has not at all done anything good for us. Ever. But let's just say that with another review coming up about another movie, and then another review with another movie, and then another review with another movie, and then another review with another movie, I tell you, things are certainly going to be much different than usual. But I will say for sure that I will have plenty of things out there to offer to anyone who might be wanting to check out these different things here. So if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.